I had a secret 5-year relationship with my brother's best friend, and we were planning to go public on New Year's Eve. At the party, he didn't mention a word about it, but playfully leaned in and whispered in my ear, "I'm tired of sleeping with you. Why don't you marry someone else, okay?" With a completely calm expression, I nodded and said okay, just because in my past life I tearfully begged him, swearing I'd marry no one else. After finally marrying him as I wished, he turned cold and heartless, even keeping his eyes closed the entire time during intimacy. He abandoned me when I was hemorrhaging during childbirth, choosing instead to celebrate his former lover's birthday at Disneyland. In that moment, I finally understood love obtained through pleading is destined to fade away. Having lived a second life, I smiled and replied, "I'm tired of it too. Let's break up." 1. After hearing those words from me, Ethan froze for a moment, thinking he must have misheard. The always explosive me had suddenly become docile. He stopped joking and gazed at me seriously. "Ellie, do you know what I was just saying?" I maintained a breezy smile on my face. "Of course I know. Weren't you telling me to find someone else?" In my past life, if he had dared to utter even the slightest word that displeased me, I would have clawed at him like a frantic cat until he admitted his mistake. But this time, I chose to let him have his way, and to free myself too. Ethan, however, frowned. "Eleanor, what's wrong with you today?" Before he could finish, the sound of shattering glass came from the next table. Soon after, a figure in white fled through the door in tears. Hearing the commotion, people at the neighboring tables turned their heads. My brother Ryan jabbed Ethan with his elbow. "Isn't that your ex-girlfriend smashing the glass? What, did you invite her today? On such a festive occasion, making such a scene, surely it isn't because of you." Ethan's handsome brows furrowed even deeper as he stood up and strode toward the door. Before long, the weeping outside the door gradually softened, turning into intimate whispers like those between lovers. The dishes kept arriving, and I absently picked at the food on my plate. In the past, I would always serve Ethan a portion whenever a new dish came, placing it on his plate. This had been my habit since knowing him. His work calls were frequent, and he often had to step out mid-meal to answer them. Every time my brother sees me being so attentive to Ethan, he always gets jealous. "Hey, you're putting food on Ethan's plate again. You're never this considerate to your own brother. I've noticed it for a while now. Could it be that you actually like that Ethan kid?" Several times, I nearly blurted out the truth. Ethan immediately put some distance between us, ruffling my hair like an older brother would, smiling as he said I reminded him of his little sister. I understood his meaning instantly. He didn't want our relationship to be public. For 5 whole years, he never posted anything about me on Instagram, not even a story set to close friends only. It was as if he didn't want to leave any trace that we'd ever loved each other. Because I love him so desperately, that's exactly why I willingly hide in the shadows time and again. Seeing me silently eat my food, my brother teased, "Why don't you go check on your Ethan? Be careful or he might run off with another girl later." My chopsticks paused midair. What does it matter to me if he runs off with someone else? As a mere little sister, I shouldn't bother him anyway. My elder brother looked at me seriously, as if trying to discern something from my face. Today was Ethan's birthday. We had originally planned to officially announce our relationship today, but I never expected him to invite his ex Sophia over. At this moment, Ethan and Sophia returned. Sophia's eyes were red, as if she had just been crying. Ethan held her hand, comforting her from time to time. Seeing this, my brother whistled teasingly. "Ethan, Sophia, are you two back together?" The moment these words were spoken, Ethan abruptly looked up at me, a flicker of panic flashing in his eyes. "Nonsense. We've been old classmates for years. What's wrong with showing some concern?" But my shameless brother leaned in closer. "I'm your old classmate too. Mind showing some concern for me?" Ethan gave him a shove with a laugh. "Get lost." Seeing Sophia clinging to him like a little bird, I pulled my brother away. "Bro, quit bothering Ethan and Sophia. Let them have their alone time. Hurry up and go back to eat." As I spoke, I looked at Ethan with a beaming smile. "Right, Ethan?" Hearing this address, Ethan was momentarily stunned. He gave me an inscrutable look, but ultimately said nothing as he saw Sophia off. The moment they left the table, the crowd around them began gossiping. "Didn't I tell you old flames pack the strongest punch? Look at their interaction tonight. They're 80% on track to getting back together." No kidding. Back when Sophia needed a kidney transplant due to renal failure, Ethan didn't hesitate to give her one of his own. Before even fully recovering, he rushed to her hospital room to take care of her. He literally gave her half his life. Now that Sophia's back in the country, there's no way they'll separate again. Listening to these words, my heart ached so intensely I could barely breathe. It turned out their fates had long been intricately intertwined. Only I remained the fool, maintaining a clandestine relationship with him. In my past life, after marrying Ethan, everything drastically changed. He stopped touching me altogether. We slept in separate rooms. Even eating utensils had to be kept apart. Only when his parents pressured us about having children did he reluctantly embrace me to fulfill that duty. That night, he insisted on turning off the lights and kept his eyes shut throughout, as if enduring utter humiliation. The next day, he went to Sophia's place and stayed overnight, never returning home. One winter when I came down with a severe cold, I lay limp and powerless in bed. I asked him to take me to the hospital, but he impatiently refused, claiming he had work to do. He ended up accompanying Sophia at the nail salon while getting her nails done, where the staff praised them for being such a loving couple. When I was in labor, I bled all over the house and called him crying. He finally snapped, "It's just giving birth, isn't it? It's not like you're dying. What's there to cry about? Call an Uber to the hospital yourself. I'm busy. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up." Before I could finish speaking, he abruptly hung up. When I called back, his phone was turned off. Yet on Sophia's Instagram, there were 8 consecutive posts showing Ethan celebrating her birthday with her at Disneyland. Every photo album's cover featured Ethan and Sophia in a passionate kiss. It was in that moment I completely lost the will to live. "Ethan, since you don't love me, what's the use of me keeping this child?" I severed all means of survival, threw my phone out the window, and watched helplessly as the blood spread. I died from excessive blood loss, yet even then, Ethan still thought I was acting. At the birthday party, without Ethan as the guest of honor, everyone quickly went their separate ways to enjoy themselves. I was in low spirits and left right after finishing my meal. Ethan, who usually bombarded me with texts every 3 minutes, was uncharacteristically quiet tonight. Outside the window, festive fireworks celebrating the new year erupted, yet I felt no holiday cheer. At midnight, a burst of fireworks illuminated the window. Ethan, who rarely posted on Instagram, suddenly updated. The photo showed Sophia fast asleep on his shoulder, looking serene and adorable. The caption consisted of just one word, her. The moment the post went live, comments began piling up like crazy within the first minute. "Wishing you happiness, getting married soon, a match made in heaven." I casually tapped the like button, but when I refreshed, the post had vanished. The next second, Sophia sent me a message, "Ethan gave me a ride home, and I accidentally fell asleep on his shoulder. It's too late. I don't feel safe letting him go back, so I let him stay overnight at my place. You wouldn't mind, right?" I replied indifferently with a faint MHM. Anyway, from now on, who Ethan stays with or what he does has nothing to do with me. Just as I was about to sleep, Ethan also sent me a message. "What? Have these two already synchronized to this extent? Sophia just came back to the country not long ago and hasn't bought any holiday outfits. Don't you have several new ones? Lend them to her tomorrow. The malls are closed. I'm afraid we won't have time to buy any." Seeing this message, my already gloomy mood instantly plunged to rock bottom. I haven't even worn these new clothes I bought for myself yet. But why should I do it for him to give to his most beloved person? What is he to me? Angrily, I ignored the message and turned off my phone. To my surprise, early the next morning, Ethan showed up at my doorstep with Sophia. At 10 in the morning, Ethan rang my doorbell. My brother went to open the door and found Ethan and Sophia standing outside with loads of gifts. Everyone in the family except me welcomed them happily. Ethan had lost his parents at a young age and was raised by his grandmother. Being our next-door neighbors, my parents had long considered him half a son. After entering, Ethan gave me a deep look. My mom smiled at Sophia and said, "You must be Ethan's girlfriend, right? Haven't seen you in years. You've become even more beautiful." "Thank you, Mrs. Miller. It's been years, but you're just as youthful as ever." Sophia really knows how to charm people. Just a few words had my parents grinning from ear to ear. "Eleanor, what are you dawdling about in the room for? Come greet Ethan and Sophia at once." I obediently poured Ethan and Sophia a glass of water and said respectfully, "Ethan, Sophia, Happy New Year." Ethan looked at me even more strangely. Just as I was going to the bathroom, he suddenly sent me a message. "What are you angry about?" I deliberately left the message on read. During lunch, there was a minor incident among us over seating arrangements. I sat in my usual lunch spot, but Ethan silently took the seat beside me. "That's my brother's spot." Watching Ethan claim his seat, my brother stared wide-eyed before glancing at the empty space beside Sophia. "Hey man, why are you taking my seat? Go sit next to your girlfriend already." With that, he pulled Ethan up. After some minor pushing and shoving, Ethan ended up sitting across from me. But the moment he sat down, I felt like sitting on pins and needles. He looked at me with deep, penetrating eyes. I averted my gaze and silently started eating. Midway through the meal, he went to answer another phone call. Looking at the empty plate before him, I swallowed my food and ultimately chose to ignore it. When he returned, he deliberately glanced at the empty plate before turning his gaze to me. My brother noticed and quickly came to my defense. "We're all family here. No one's competing with you. Don't give Ellie a hard time." Just then, my mother looked at Ethan, then at me, her eyes filled with unspoken meaning. She suddenly called my name at the dinner table. "Eleanor, look, Ethan's already brought his girlfriend home this year. When do you plan to bring a boyfriend home for us to meet?" Ethan opened his mouth as if wanting to say something. I cut him off before he could speak. "If Mom, Dad, and Big Brother come across anyone suitable, feel free to recommend them to me. In the past, I would flatly refuse whenever this topic came up. Seeing my change of heart this time, my brother was so moved he instantly teared up. He gave my shoulder a hearty pat. Ellie, you've finally seen the light. As long as you want to meet someone, bro will arrange a handsome guy for you right after dinner. I laughed and said okay, my gaze unintentionally drifting toward Ethan, only to see his lips pressed tight, his expression turning grim. Amidst the chatter, he suddenly cut in, "Auntie, stop joking around. Sophia is just an old classmate of mine." My mother froze momentarily, and Sophia's smiling face instantly stiffened. My brother, always one to stir things up, chimed in, "So you're still single? How about I set you up with Ellie then?" Hearing this, my already flustered heart tightened to its limit. He immediately nudged my brother, "Stop joking around, Ellie's my sister." My hanging heart is finally dead through and through. I took a deep breath, mustering all my strength to force a natural smile. "Yeah bro, don't talk nonsense. Ethan is just like an older brother to me." After dinner, Ethan left with Sophia, and we didn't contact each other for the next few days. I ate when hungry, drank when thirsty, and actively participated in every friend gathering available. On that Friday night in early January, my brother had a gathering with friends. Seeing that I had no plans, he insisted on dragging me along. I went to bed early, adamantly refusing to go, but he said, "Tonight is a pivotal moment in Ethan's life. As his younger sister, you absolutely must witness it." It wasn't until we arrived at the party that I understood Sophia intended to use tonight's gathering to reconcile with Ethan. According to them, Sophia's return to the country visibly accelerated the heating up of their relationship, with a high likelihood of reconciliation. A friend working at a jewelry store mentioned that Ethan went to their shop the day before yesterday to pick out a ring. It's almost certainly for Sophia. My brother's friends are mostly acquaintances of mine, and quite a few greeted me when they saw me arrive. Many complimented me on looking much prettier, jokingly suggesting I pick among the available single men present. I laughed and horsed around with them in high spirits, while Ethan watched silently from afar without uttering a word. Before dinner began, Sophia took me aside. "Eleanor, I know Ethan treats you well. He'd listen to whatever you say. So later when I confess my feelings, could you put in a good word for me, please? This way, we'll have a higher chance of reconciling successfully." Sophia may appear gentle on the surface, but her heart is actually filled with wicked intentions. She knows I like Ethan, but since he refuses to go public with our relationship, I've had no choice but to suffer in silence. She simply wants to exploit this weakness of mine, my love for Ethan, to torment me to death. But Sophia didn't know that after my past life experience, my heart had completely turned cold toward him. So I flashed an even brighter smile than hers. "Sure, don't worry. I'll definitely give you two my full support." Sophia curled her lip and returned to the private room. At the dinner table, Ethan suddenly went crazy, started piling food onto my plate, just like how I used to serve him in the past. Right as the waiter brought out a new dish of curry chicken, he placed a piece in my bowl. I blocked the bowl with my hand and smiled. "Ethan, I've grown up. I can serve myself. Help Sophia instead." The piece of chicken hung awkwardly in the air until Sophia reached out with her bowl to accept it. "Ethan, Ellie's little sister might have someone special among us today. You don't need to fuss over everyone." Just then, each friend at the table suddenly stood to toast Sophia, welcoming her back to the country. Just as Sophia reached for the wine glass, Ethan snatched it away from her. "Sophia gets drunk after just one sip. Let me drink this glass for her," he said. With those words, he threw back his head and downed the wine in one gulp, drawing cheers and applause from the crowd. Soon Ethan was drinking glass after glass, his face gradually flushing crimson. Sophia reached out to stop him, her voice soft as flowing water. "Ethan, you don't have to drink so much for me." It was unclear whether Ethan was drunk or not. He looked at Sophia with a gentle expression. "It's okay, you can't handle alcohol. They're clearly taking advantage of you." Because of this remark, the surroundings erupted in an uproar. I knew that Ethan's pivotal life moment had arrived. Sophia's cheeks flushed crimson as her rosebud lips parted. "Ethan, after all these years, I still can't forget you. Let's get back together, okay? Say yes, say yes." The crowd began to cheer them on. Ethan paused, clearly not anticipating the situation would develop in this direction. The atmosphere was perfectly set. The heroine had courageously declared her love, now only waiting for the hero's nod of confirmation. A much-anticipated romance, a perfect couple, is about to be born. Watching the two under the spotlight, I also clapped and shouted. A girl as devoted and beautiful as Sophia is a rarity. "Ethan, aren't you going to nod and say yes?" But Ethan looked at me in shock. "What nonsense are you spouting, Eleanor? Aren't you my girlfriend? What are you encouraging?" As soon as the words fell, everyone present fell silent. My brother was the first to react, looking shocked as he glanced between Ethan and me. "Ellie, what did he just call you, girlfriend?" I smiled calmly and said, "Brother, can't you see Ethan's drunk? He's just joking around." Ethan seemed furious as he pushed Sophia aside and strode toward me. I took a step back, just as the sound of shattering glass came from behind. When Ethan turned to look, he rushed over in panic. Sophia's calf had been sliced open by the glass, leaving a bleeding gash. Pale skin and deep crimson blood formed a stark, horrifying contrast. Ethan's heart ached at the sight, his brows furrowing deeply as he immediately scooped Sophia up in his arms. But Sophia shot me a glance, her eyes brimming with grievance as she clung to Ethan's neck. "Ethan, there are so many people watching. Put me down right now. Otherwise, people might misunderstand the relationship between you and me. Ellie seems upset. Aren't you going to check on her?" Sophia's voice wasn't too loud or quiet, just enough to drift into my ears. She deliberately said this to lure Ethan into openly declaring his relationship with Sophia in front of everyone. Unexpectedly, Ethan kept a straight face and ultimately said nothing. He merely glanced at me briefly before turning to Sophia and saying, "Don't mind her. Let me take you to the hospital first." With that, he carried Sophia out of the private room. The moment they left, my brother couldn't wait to crowd in with his gossipy questions. "That Ethan kid can really hold his liquor. Speak. What's really going on between you two?" Thinking about my big-mouthed brother, I decided to keep it from him. I shook my head. "There's nothing going on. Maybe Sophie was just too sudden, and it caught him off guard." My brother wanted to press further, but I waved him off and brushed it aside. I shouldn't have come to this friends gathering in the first place. As soon as dinner was over, I made an excuse to leave. Walking alone on the street, everywhere I looked there were couples and groups of people, their faces beaming with joyous smiles as they set off fireworks at street corners. Suddenly, I felt this holiday celebration was utterly meaningless. Quickening my pace, I decided to just go home, wash up, and sleep. Just as I was approaching my building, Ethan appeared. I quickened my pace and rushed through the gate, but he intercepted me just one step ahead. I dodged aside, only to be forcibly pulled into his embrace. Had I not lived through my previous life, perhaps I would have yearned for this warm embrace. The next second I should have leaned against him and cried my heart out. But having lived twice, I pushed him away coldly. "Ethan, this is right under my family's apartment. What if my parents see us and get the wrong idea?" He froze, the hand he'd extended toward me ultimately withdrawing. "Sometimes I don't understand. If he thinks I'm not good enough to be seen with him, why does he stay with me at all?" He demanded. "What's wrong with you today? Why were you egging those people on with them?" I shrugged nonchalantly. "Isn't that true? Sophia still can't forget you, and back then you risked your life to save her. Almost lost it too. I think you two are quite well suited. Getting back together would be natural." I was being honest, but Ethan took it differently. He rarely showed even a hint of a smile. "Then what about you? Have you forgotten your own position? Who was it that said before, if I got too close with any girl, someone would?" "Ethan," I met his gaze squarely, enunciating each word clearly, "we've already broken up." The next second, Ethan finally panicked. "Who said we broke up? I won't allow it." "Won't allow what?" Before I could speak, my brother's loud, careless voice came from behind me. I turned back with a laugh and explained, "Ethan wants to give Sophia a ring, and he came all the way here to ask me what styles girls like. He even said he wouldn't let me go home if I didn't answer seriously." Ethan's face instantly darkened. He grabbed my arm, just about to say something when my brother interrupted. "If you're giving it to her, why not ask her directly? Why bother Ellie about it? Or do you want to give Ellie a ring instead?" At that last sentence, Ethan's face flushed faintly red. I pried Ethan's fingers off my arm one by one. "Since you've decided to get back with Sophia, you should go find her. She's injured her leg and needs someone to take care of her. Eleanor, do you even hear what you're saying? Who said anything about getting back with her?" Ethan raised his voice in agitation, drawing stares from passers-by. "Holy shit, Ethan, what the hell is wrong with you? Whether you get back together is between you and Sophia. Why take it out on Ellie?" Seeing Ethan was about to explode again, I nudged my brother. "It's freezing out here. Let's head back." The moment we got home, before we even had time to take off our shoes, Ethan called. I hung up immediately, but he stubbornly kept calling back. Finally, he sent me a message. "What time are you going to sleep? I'll come find you in a bit. There's so much I want to tell you. Can we talk?" I didn't want to deal with him anymore and turned off my phone, but just as I turned off the lights to sleep, my bedroom door was knocked on. "Ellie, someone's asking for you. Hurry up." I pulled the blanket over my head. "I'm asleep. Whatever it is, tell me tomorrow." "It's Sophia looking for you." I snapped my eyes open, brow furrowing sharply. "What's she doing here?" Sophia stood outside the door, holding several exquisitely wrapped gift bags with a beaming smile. "I brought back a few skincare sets from abroad. I meant to give them to you earlier, but I forgot." As soon as the bedroom door closed, Sophia's smile vanished instantly. I couldn't be bothered to put on a friendly smile anymore, so I got straight to the point. "You didn't come to see me without another reason, did you?" Sophia dropped all pretenses, unceremoniously plopped down on the chair, and crossed her legs. Her demeanor made it seem like she was the lady of the house. "Eleanor, I won't beat around the bush. I know Ethan's been getting pretty close to you these past few years I've been abroad. But now I'm back, and we're going to get married and have children together. I hope you can keep some distance from him." A question mark slowly formed in my mind. There must be some misunderstanding here. Ethan and I only have a brother-sister kind of relationship. Are you done? If you're finished, please leave. I want to go to sleep. We weren't close to begin with, and being accused so bizarrely made me feel extremely uncomfortable. But the next second, Sophia's face twisted with fury. "If it weren't for you, Ethan and I would have gotten back together tonight. What are you pretending not to see? Ethan likes you, can't you tell?" In my past life, I would have confidently told her that Ethan's heart belonged to me. But now, in this life, I see the truth. Ethan still cares for Sophia. I'll say it again, Ethan and I are just like siblings. That's how it is now, and how it'll always be. This relationship will never change. If you like Ethan, go after him boldly. Don't waste your time bothering an outsider like me. Sophia was left speechless by the retort, unable to utter a word for a long while. In the end, she left behind those gift bags and walked away without saying a word. Yet after her departure, instead of feeling any satisfaction, I only grew more depressed. In my past life, shortly after Ethan and I publicly announced our marriage, Sophia came to see me privately. I'd expected her to make trouble, but to my surprise, she remained eerily calm. She pulled out her phone and scrolled through the chat history between her and Ethan from when they first met up until now, showing me screen after screen. From their initial awkward small talk after adding each other as friends, to gradually getting to know one another, until becoming close, to their first date, first confession of feelings, becoming a couple. Even during these past years when they broke up and Sophia went abroad, she maintained a seemingly friendly yet actually ambiguous connection. Watching the light fade from my eyes, a hint of triumph welled up within her. "See, it's me Ethan truly loves. What does it matter if you married him? His heart would never be with you anyway. He married you not out of love, but mere obligation." Yet I stubbornly refused to believe, convinced that cold chat records could never replace the person who shared my daily life. Little did I know, Sophia's words would prove prophetic. I slept restlessly that night, remaining wide awake till dawn, until my brother knocked on the door outside. "Ellie, didn't you say you wanted to find someone the other day? My friend just returned from abroad today. He's studying medicine, same as your field. Want to meet him?" I immediately perked up. Sure thing, out with the old, in with the new. For now, the best way to distract myself is to make more friends. Seeing me actively get up to wash up, my mom sighed that I'd truly grown up. I chuckled self-deprecatingly and said I had Ethan to thank for that. My brother's friend was quite agreeable and quickly settled on a meeting time. He even proactively asked for my contact information and had my brother pass him my number. After adding him, I noticed his profile picture was a black cat. I suddenly felt a sense of familiarity, because my profile picture is a British shorthair cat. He told me we'd meet tomorrow at a Thai restaurant near my place. "How did you know I love spicy food?" I was pleasantly surprised, recognizing my regular dining spot. "Ask your brother." I couldn't help but feel a slight fondness for those who did their homework in advance. Just as I was on my way to the meeting, Ethan kept calling. I hung up impatiently. When he realized I wasn't answering, he started texting instead. "Eleanor, where are you right now? I'm coming to find you. Let's talk this through properly. Ellie, could you reply when you see this? I don't want our relationship to become so distant." I directly turned on Do Not Disturb mode. Following the waiter's guidance, I walked toward the seat Cole had reserved in advance at the restaurant. In the distance, I spotted a refined man wearing glasses sitting by the window. That must be my brother's friend. For our first meeting, Cole had put in considerable effort. He produced a small gift for me, an exquisitely carved wooden music box. With just a gentle twist of the key, the box emitted a delightful melody. The tune blended with birdsong and the murmuring of a stream, creating an utterly serene ambience. Cole looked at my delighted expression and suddenly spoke up. "I made this. Aren't you studying medicine? You can make little trinkets like this too?" My surprise was so great I couldn't close my mouth. Cole looked somewhat shy, yet with a hint of pride. The subtle expressions on his face were adorable and lively, just like a child's. My grandfather was a carpenter. I learned this from him when I was little. I gave him a thumbs up, thoroughly impressed by this multi-talented guy. Over our chat and meal, Cole made me feel completely at ease. By the time we were nearly finished eating, I'd already started teasing him lightly. Giving such an expensive gift on our first meeting, I don't even know how to reciprocate since I can't paint or sing. Cole chuckled at my remark. "No worries, we'll meet again next time. Consider it my gift in return." Amid the laughter and chatter, a familiar voice suddenly rang out from behind. That voice shattered my good mood into pieces in an instant. I turned around to see Ethan standing before me, his face haggard with exhaustion. "Eleanor, do you have any idea how hard I've been looking for you?" Ethan pressed his hands against his knees, slightly out of breath, looking as if he had run all the way here. Upon seeing Cole sitting across from me, Ethan immediately furrowed his brow. He strode quickly to my side and yanked me up from the chair. I kept calling and texting you, but you never replied to any of them. Eleanor, you've got some nerve, dating another man before even breaking up with me? Ethan's voice was neither too loud nor too soft, but just enough to draw sidelong glances from several nearby tables. His grip hurt like hell. I jerked away, only to have him clamp down even harder. Ethan, don't talk nonsense. Since you mentioned breaking up at your last birthday party, I agreed. I'm single now. You have no right to interfere with which man I date. Ethan was completely provoked and actually tried to kiss me in public. I wanted to slap him, but both my hands were restrained, powerless to stop it. At that moment, a strong hand reached between Ethan and me. Cole effortlessly pushed Ethan aside, shielding me behind him. Sir, if you continue like this, I'll report you for sexual harassment. Who the hell are you? I'm talking to my girlfriend. Get out of my way. With that, Ethan recklessly grabbed Cole's collar, trying to shove him aside. Unfortunately, being shorter than Cole, he ended up being lifted bodily by Cole instead. Let go of me, sir. With such a violent temper as yours, it's hard to believe you're her boyfriend. What if you're some villain trying to abduct this lady? Everyone, doesn't that seem possible? Cole's rational and gentlemanly demeanor quickly won the approval of those around him. Ethan, realizing he couldn't overpower him, eventually gave up struggling. But just as Cole set Ethan down, he suddenly surged forward and lunged at Cole. The two fell to the ground, locked in a fierce struggle. Even the restaurant's security guards couldn't contain them. Keeping a straight face, I dialed 911 to report the incident. Then I placed a call to Sophia. Tell her to keep her boyfriend in check. To my surprise, Sophia coldly responded, don't call me about Ethan ever again. There's no chance we'll get back together. Before I could reply, she hung up. I stared at my phone in confusion, completely baffled by what had just happened. At the police station, the officers gave both of them a verbal warning and quickly released them. Just out of the police station, Ethan couldn't contain his excitement as he looked at me again. I sighed helplessly. Ethan, please stop harassing me. No sooner had I finished speaking than Ethan eagerly said, that day I had too much to drink. It was just an unintentional joke. Don't take it to heart. Eleanor, I never thought about getting back with Sophia. It's you I like. I sneered. You keep saying you love me. So why has this relationship been hidden for 5 years? Why keep me in the shadows? Ethan, the person you truly love isn't me. It's yourself. With that, I turned to leave, and Ethan immediately trailed after me like a lapdog. I'm warning you, if you keep following me, I'll call the police. Cole stepped forward to block for me, and Ethan finally had no choice but to stand there watching us leave. But I never expected that Ethan would turn around and announce our relationship to the whole world. Early the next morning, before I was even awake, my brother started banging on my door. Eleanor, get out here. I have something important to ask you. When I groggily opened the door, I saw Ethan and my brother standing outside. I instinctively tried to shut the door, but my brother blocked it. Eleanor, Ethan has confessed everything to me. Don't you have anything to explain? I've got nothing to explain. Our relationship was purely sibling-like, but he told me you two dated for 5 years. What's going on? Hearing my brother's words, I laughed. All right then, we've been together for 5 years. Ethan, do you have any proof to show for it? Ethan opened his mouth but ultimately couldn't say a word. Throughout 5 years of dating, he never posted a single Instagram story about me. Even when he did post, it was always group photos of the three of us. For 5 years, every gift we exchanged revolved around food and drinks. He never wanted to leave behind anything substantial, afraid someone might discover the truth. I had my doubts and frustrations. He said I was still too young, afraid my family would object. But I'm not that young anymore. I've been in a relationship with him since I was 18, and now I'm 23. The ridiculous part was that Ethan couldn't produce a single piece of evidence. At that moment, he suddenly remembered something. Don't you have our photos together in your phone? Show them to your brother. There are some, but I've deleted all the photos we took when we were alone together. Only the group photos from when the three of us went out together remain. Listening to our conversation, my older brother has already started to feel suspicious. He suspects Ethan might have some loose screws. You say you've been dating for 5 years. It's one thing for people around you not to know. How can there not be a single shred of evidence? Ethan, are you sure you're dating my sister? This is what you call dating? Are you even a fucking man? Seeing Ethan still trying to insist, my brother was already growing impatient. Eleanor, explain it to your brother. I really did date you for 5 years. Ellie, have you forgotten everything I told you? Have you forgotten you said you loved me? Ethan's words made me sick to my stomach. Bro, I think Ethan's still drunk. You should take him out now. After that, I blocked all of Ethan's contact information. I'd made myself clear enough already. Any further pestering would just be harassment. Ethan came to my house to make a scene several more times afterward, until even my parents noticed and had to chase him away with a broom. They found it strange, such a fine young man, yet he seems a bit mentally unstable. Could it be that he's had a falling out with Sophia and wants to use Ellie as a replacement? Under my brother's persistent questioning, I finally confessed to him about my 5-year relationship with Ethan. He didn't scold me after hearing it. Instead, he patted my head with heartache. "You're such a fool. Why didn't you mention anything to me? If I'd known Ethan was such a bastard, I should have cut ties with him long ago. Eleanor, remember this, any man who makes you suffer emotionally isn't worth keeping. Break it off cleanly, got it?" I nodded. After the holiday break, I returned to work at the hospital. The female colleagues at the nurses' station mentioned that a new doctor had joined the surgical department. Not only was he tall and handsome, but he was also a top graduate from a prestigious foreign medical school. When I heard them say the doctor's surname was Anderson, my heart skipped a beat. It felt too improbable to be mere coincidence. After all, the world was so vast. Yet that very morning, a banner was unfurled at the hospital entrance, even a welcome ceremony held. Only then did I realize the newly hired doctor was truly Cole Anderson. Amidst the crowd's applause, he spotted me and flashed me a smile. The smile lingered for so long that everyone couldn't help but follow his gaze to look at me. My colleague beside me nudged me. "What, do you two know each other?" I quickly lied. "No, I'm also seeing Dr. Anderson for the first time today." As soon as the words left my mouth, Cole walked towards me. "Eleanor, what a coincidence." He reached out his hand to me, while everyone around us whispered. A month later, everyone in the department knew Cole was pursuing me. He would wait for me after my shift and buy me midnight snacks when I worked nights. Thanks to his treats, I gained 5 pounds. My relationship with Cole grew ambiguous, only that thin layer of separation remained unbroken. But I never expected to see Ethan again at the hospital. It had been over 2 months since I last saw him. When we met again, he was accompanying a girl for her medical appointment. I was taken aback when I saw the girl's face. She bore some resemblance to me. Ethan noticed me, paused for a moment, then started walking toward me. I pushed through the crowd toward the elevator, wanting to get away from him. Yet I accidentally bumped into someone's chest. Cole didn't push me away. Instead, he held me tighter. The intimate posture drew sideways glances from others. I turned my head. The elevator doors were about to close. Through the narrowing gap, I saw Ethan wearing a lonely, desolate expression. My heart remains utterly unruffled. "Farewell, Ethan. For the rest of my days, you shall no longer exist in my world." The end.